when Sharon Kelleher came to us and said, what about kids with disabilities? We started BAWSI Rollers. We want to make a difference. We want to open doors for people that normally the world says those doors are closed and you don't have value. Can you imagine the value of having these great athletes that you met today, and especially athletes like the Santa Clara women's basketball team who take the time every week to go to a public school, elementary school playground and spend hours with young girls who desperately need them as role models in their lives. Those athletes are the ones that are doing amazing, amazing work. And I just think it's so important also to think through everybody who supports this work. We met Tara and Brandy tonight. We honored them for the kind of role models they are. We talked to Julie and Darla. We've met our visionaries. I'd love to have our board and our advisory council members stand because you keep BAWSI growing all the time. So if you would stand as well and let us acknowledge Claudia is so unique. She's now in 4th grade, so she's getting old. Yudi and Jorge told me that on Saturday and Sunday mornings in their home, most kids would get up and watch cartoons or want to sleep in. Claudia asked them to buy an exercise video. So when she gets up on Saturday and Sunday mornings, she has a little exercise mat she puts out, and that's how she wakes mom and dad up. She turns on the exercise music and she exercises. Claudia has a dream that someday she's going to attend college at Santa Clara University. So for every little girl like Claudia who is going to be a leader in their community, this is what BAWSI is about. For Santa Clara women's basketball, you guys have poured your heart and soul into hundreds of little girls, and all of them are going to end up like Claudia. They're all going to be Broncos probably too. So Claudia, you are a great example of BAWSI. You mean the world to us, and thank you so much for everything you are. I really would like to invite you all to consider something. BAWSI is about authentic relationships. It really isn't about asking athletes to make appearances. It's about athletes building relationships with girls, with women, and with kids with disabilities. I would like to ask that you would consider becoming a part of the BAWSI family. And what I'd like to ask is you consider a couple things. One is that you would make a gift of your time. Time is what is so incredibly valuable to us. 90 minutes a week of your time can totally transform the life of a child. And if you're thinking that you're not an athlete, then think again. Because we define a woman athlete as anyone who's committed to fitness, to health, to playing recreational sports, to being a weekend warrior. Whatever it is, you have something to give, and we would love to have you join us. And if you're thinking, well, but I'm not a woman, and some of you aren't, and we're glad that you're not, we would love to tell you that we have plenty of opportunity for you to give your time